Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Reginald Bullock, United States Air Force retired, and I am your Master of Ceremonies for today's special event. Today, we honor Colonel Cagle, retired, on the occasion of her promotion to the rank of Brigadier General, California. Officiating today's ceremony is Brigadier General Darren Bender, Commanding General, California State Guard. I would also like to say a special thank you in advance to the 40th Infantry Division Band Quintet, who will be playing music for us today. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given cues to rise and be seated at the appropriate times. As a reminder, during the playing of the national anthem, military members should stand at attention, and our civilian members and guests may place their right hand over their heart. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Mrs. Elizabeth Gilderly and the invocation by Mrs. Wendy Gladney.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Almighty God, we come before you today with hearts full of gratitude as we celebrate the promotion of Colonel Yvonne Cagle to Brigadier General. We recognize the hard work, dedication, and service that have led her to this significant achievement. And we thank you for the gifts of leadership, courage, and perseverance she has shown throughout her distinguished career. As she steps into this new role of greater responsibility, we ask for your continued guidance and wisdom. Bless her with the strength to lead with integrity, compassion, and vision. And may her example inspire those who serve alongside her. Grant her clarity in times of uncertainty and fortitude in times of challenge. As she strives to uphold the highest ideals of service to her country and her fellow service members. We also lift up her family and loved ones past and present who have supported her on this journey. May they be blessed with peace, knowing that her path is guided by you. We ask for your protection over all who serve, both at home and abroad, and for your peace to cover the hearts of those in leadership, like Colonel Cagle. as they shoulder the burdens and responsibilities of command. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Gilligley and Ms. Gladney. Please take your seats. On behalf of Brigadier General Bender and Colonel Cagle, I would like to welcome Brigadier General David L. Kaufman, Deputy Adjutant General, California Military Department, Astronaut Dr. Mae Jemison, the Honorable Donna Colson, Mayor of Burlingame, California, the Honorable Mark Milberg, Mayor of Novato, California, and Mr. Willie L. Daniels, President of Shades of Blue, as well as the distinguished visitors, general officers, senior leaders, soldiers, airmen, and other military members who have come to share in this special occasion. Brigadier General Darren Bender, Commanding General, California State Guard, would also like to say special thank you in advance to the 40th Division Band Quintet. On behalf of Colonel Cagle, she has asked me also to take this opportunity to extend a special recognition to her daughter, Ashley Cagle. In addition, Colonel Cagle would like to acknowledge and extend her deepest appreciation to all family and friends present today and those who could not attend. Finally, at the request of Colonel Cagle, she would like to draw your attention to the 3 white chairs to your stage left. Representing and honoring those 3 closest members of the Cagle family who are no longer with us. Her father, Senior Master Sergeant George Davis Cagle. Her mother, Betsy Juanita Cagle. And her brother, Santa Rosa Fire Captain Stephen Timothy Cagle. May we have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you will find Colonel Cagle's biography is printed in today's program for you to peruse at your leisure. And now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the Commanding General, California State Guard, Brigadier General Darren Bender.
Thank you, Colonel Bullock. I mean, I think he's born to be an MC. He's part of what I believe to be a real demonstration today of what the State Guard and the military department can do. This is such a professional ceremony. And so I want to thank all of the staff, led by Irma Garrett, who have come together to put this ceremony together, because Dr. Cagle deserves this ceremony. And so do you. Because many of you traveled a long way to be here, but this is a moment, a historic moment, and it just deserves to be done right. So I'm just going to, rather than go over Dr. Cagle's accomplishments, see, I'm not sure to call her astronaut, doctor, colonel. So just the fact that I'm confused about that means that we're getting someone pretty remarkable into our ranks. So we'll be calling her General here shortly. But I want to tell you a little, rather than going through her remarkable life, because you're going to hear a little bit more about that later, I'm going to talk to you about what the State Guard is, what the military department is, and what her role is going to be as Brigadier General in the California State Guard. So first, the State Guard. So the California State Guard is a professional military organization that's recognized both in state law and in federal law. It was founded in 1917 during World War I to help protect the homeland while all of the federalized troops were overseas. In World War II, that mission continued to the point where there were over 20,000 members of the California State Defense Force, it was called at that time, protecting lines of communication, a critical infrastructure against the enemies of our country. After World War II and up until current times, the role of the State Guard has matured into one in which we're involved in just about everything that the military department does. We really allow the military department to succeed, if you ask me, and it's because we have some of the most remarkable people in our organization. The military department is also kind of unique and something you may not know a lot about. It's a cabinet level government agency, so the governor is the commander-in-chief, and my boss, Major General Matthew Beavers, the Adjutant General, is a cabinet level secretary. Similar to the Department of Defense or the Pentagon and the Secretary of Defense, their relationship to the federal government and to the President of the United States is similar to the military department's role here in California. But we don't just do military. We have a really remarkable youth programs footprint. And that's important because the way that I became aware of Dr. Cagle is through Mr. Willie Daniels, who is here. Thank you, sir. He is the president of Shades of Blue. Shades of Blue is an organization that helps mentor and guide young, many underprivileged youth who would not have an opportunity to excel in engineering, aerospace science, aeronautics, without mentorship, guidance, and motivation and inspiration. And his organization provides that inspiration. I believe that our organization, the military department, also has that mission. So we touch the lives of 10,000 young people a year through all of our youth programs, some of them specifically for the same reasons that Shades of Blue exists, to inspire them, to excel in science, technology, engineering, math. The rest, we are doing our best to inspire them just to succeed in life and give them those tools. And so that's where Dr. Cagle comes in and fits so perfectly. And so her role in the State Guard is really going to be to support what I believe is the military department's most important mission, which is to improve the lives and to help the success of these 10,000 young Californians that we touch every year. I couldn't imagine a more qualified person to do that, and I couldn't imagine a more important mission. And so she will be an ambassador to our youth programs. The military department, well, I'll just say a little bit more about the State Guard. The type of people that we have in our ranks. We have elected officials. We have mayors and county supervisors in our ranks. We have Superior Court judges in our ranks. We have world-renowned doctors in our ranks. I should mention some numbers. I think we have about 60 lawyers in our ranks, so it's probably the largest law firm in California. Some of them, these are professionals that many of them don't have prior military experience, but they want to serve, and they want to serve in uniform in a military organization, and it gives us just this superpower where we can do things that no one else can do, because we're all volunteers, and it's almost like It's almost like if you don't have a budget, if you don't have resources, then you'll never be resource constrained. So whatever we set our mind to do, we just figure out a way to do it. Who else do we have? We have world-renowned journalists in our ranks. We have police chiefs, fire chiefs in our ranks. We have war heroes in our ranks. Members of the federal military, veterans who have served with distinction overseas but want to continue to serve. So these are the types of people that Dr. Cagle will have the pleasure of working with, and who will have the pleasure of working with Dr. Cagle. But you know what we don't have in our ranks? We don't have any astronauts. And we also don't have any African American women who are general officers. So she will be the first in both of those. So I'll just close by saying that it's just a real honor and privilege to be part of the ceremony today, and to welcome Dr. Cagle into our ranks. And thank you again for attending.
Thank you, General Bender. At this time, Brigadier General Bender will give Colonel Cagle the oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Yvonne Darlene Cagle,
I, Yvonne Darlene Cagle,
having been appointed as an officer in the California State Guard,
having been appointed an officer in the California State Guard,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of California
and the Constitution of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of California,
and the Constitution of California,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
All right. Congratulations.
We will now proceed with the pinning portion of the promotion ceremony. Brigadier General Bender and Colonel Cagle will be joined by Colonel Cagle's daughter, Ashley Cagle, escorted by Desmond Rose of the Bay Area Urban Eagles, and also pinning is Specialist Shifu, a first responder and member of the California State Guard Task Force Rattlesnake.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. State Order 24-304-S-14. The Governor of the State of California, acting upon the recommendation of the Adjutant General, has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, fidelity, and ability of Colonel retired Yvonne Cagle. In view of these qualities and her demonstrated potential for increased responsibilities, she is therefore promoted to Brigadier General effective 2 November 2024 by order of the Adjutant General.
Photo op.
Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
All right, I think we're done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is customary for a new general to be presented with their general officer flag. Throughout the history of warfare, the general officer's personal flag symbolized leadership on the battlefield. The Air Force has incorporated the use of flags to signify presence of a general officer. To commemorate her promotion to General, Technical Sergeant Rodriguez and Staff Sergeant Anna Sila will now unfurl the Brigadier General one-star Air Force flag in honor of Brigadier General Cagle. Traditional honors will now be presented for our newest Brigadier General. The earliest use of ruffles and flourishes can be traced to a time of England's Lord Marlborough, who used kettle drums to announce his arrival. English colonists brought the tradition to the colonies during the French and Indian War, when one ruffle and present arms were given for Virginia's royal governor. In 1776, the Continental Army authorized fife and drum units to give 2 ruffles for a major general and 1 for a brigadier general. Current practice is to play ruffles and flourishes equal to the number of stars a general officer possesses. Those of you familiar with military honors may have noticed that honors were not rendered during Brigadier General Darren Bender's arrival. He has deferred the playing of ruffles and flourishes so that the first time they are played today will be in honor of Brigadier General Cagle. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as the 40th Infantry Division Band plays ruffles and flourishes, a tradition reserved for officers of flag rank. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to introduce our newest Brigadier General, Yvonne Cagle.
Good afternoon. General Beavers, General Bender, to the General Assembly before me and beyond these thresholds, thank you. Thank you. And should there be anyone that I may, in my mindfulness, have missed, please know in my heart you are never forgotten. Senior Master Sergeant George Davis Cagle. Sir, Dad. Mrs. Juanita Cagle. Ma'am, Mom. Santa Rosa Fire Captain Stephen Timothy Cagle. You will always be Stephen to me. My daughter, my beloved daughter, Ashley Cagle, and I stand in salutation, in tribute, for these three distinguished and endowed chairs. To signify that they are never forgotten, that we remember all of our fallen heroes, and most importantly, that they know there is always space at the table, in our memories and in our hearts, for you. Star reflections. These shoulders. Every first responder knows, whether they've served in the military or not, or on this planet or not, that there are often times when there is only one bunk in the field of rescue. And hence, we are used to taking turns hunkering down at the end of a shift, no matter whether that bunk is a bed, a bivouac, on a hill, in a ditch, or on the side of a cliff. It's called hot bunkie. And the way that you knew that somebody was finished with their rest period in order to report to duty was that they would make up their bed. So if the bed was still unmade, it simply meant that they were still coming back. And it would always remind me of my childhood. I would drive my mother wild because I would wake up and race out of bed without giving it a second thought. Bed unmade, so as not to waste even 1 minute of another day of discovery and service. This behavior persisted into my college years, never failing to drive my mother to the point of sheer exasperation as she relentlessly would cry out after me, "I know your mother raised you better than that. Why can't you just make up your bed?" And my response, as I launched out the door yet again would always be, because I promised, I'm coming right back. Yes, even throughout my adult years, even during those times when the world stage awaited me, or it was critical that I race out the back door on a rescue mission, or to kiss her, my mother, and my daughter goodbye, to make my father proud while deploying in flight medical service to our nation. Even then, my mother's voice always found its way in to echo in my ears. Can't you even just pull up the covers? And I'd always hug and reassure her with my same promise that I'll be coming right back. My intention was always to come right back. The last time I saw my father, Senior Master Sergeant George Davis Cagle, he was determined to complete his morning ritual from his military days, trying desperately to still make up his own bed. The last time I saw my mother, Mrs. Betsy Juanita Cagle, a proud retired civil servant, she was too weak to make up her own bed. The last time I saw my hero, my brother, Santa Rosa Fire Captain Stephen Timothy Cagle, he was desperately struggling to make up his bed while valiantly fighting a severe headache just before he collapsed. Each time, I begged my father, I begged my mother, and I begged my brother to just leave their bed unmade as I tended to them. These shoulders that bowed to part the boughs of trees in the darkness of night, to peer at stars, while on that same silent night, during our childhood game of hide and seek, my beloved brother, Fire Captain Stephen, counted down and braved the darkness, just as he later would throughout his fires later in his life. Hide go seek, he was in search of me, as I counted down our nation's and our world's first epic giant leap, landing on the moon. While seated amongst the boughs of that old oak tree on July 20th, 1969, on that hot summer hide-and-seek night. And then later, as a rising student of life. These shoulders would wander the wonders of discovery and plant the pearls of knowledge that would grow into inventions that would treat and transform suffering lives into thriving lives once again. These shoulders would bow again in labor to give birth to a love cocooned within the heart of a single crystal cry that would seal the oath that I would unequivocally die for the rest of my life. And it is this signature oath carved into my heart that is etched onto these shoulders. These shoulders today that I proudly and honorably bring in service to my country, my planet, and to those who have stepped up and so many of those who have bravely laid down their lives in service to our nation and the world, dedicating themselves to protect and preserve humanity. These shoulders, so many times bowed, bowed, and alone in a vacuum of anguished aspirations, yet ever driven by all of those hungry, turbulent, jubilant, heartbreaking, and heart-braving years of intrepid trust in those who every day risk and pledge to lay down their lives in the never-ending fight to shelter and protect justice, who, like our flags, stand shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, life to life, in proud allegiance to life and country. We all face our summits throughout life that we relentlessly strive to climb with courage and grace. It is in this tenor and with this unflinching temerity that I proudly stand before you today with these shoulders, tenaciously rising yet again to stand on those shoulders, the shoulders of our ancestors who sacrificed and distinguished themselves by forging and relentlessly paving those tumultuous paths before us, laying down turbulent footsteps, tirelessly curating that inextinguishable torch. Pioneers hidden, hiding scent, deferring dreams to make space for liberty and service, while all the while charting the giant leaps of unity that have launched us beyond borders to moon and beyond stars, beyond shattered hopes, beyond eclipsed dreams, and all the way back here to Earth to nourish those fragile crystal cries, those fractile, exquisite laughs, and those fearless final breaths that have venerably strengthened and made space on my eternally honored shoulders for a star. You know, this morning, as I do now every morning, I made my bed. Ready for duty to report yet again in service to others. So that our heroes, encompassing my father, Senior Master Sergeant George Davis Cagle, his wife, my mother, Betsy Juanita Cagle, and embracing all of our servicemen and women, our first responders, our teachers, our Apollo 1 astronauts, our Challenger astronauts, our Columbia astronauts, and yes, my beloved brother, Fire Captain Stephen Timothy Cagle, so that the bed of those heroes can remain unmade, signifying that they always will continually stand watch at their duty stations, be it in this life or the next, and that they are still coming back. So to each of you, in closing, rest well, sleep in peace, and don't worry about making your bed. Because those who serve in and out of uniform, on and off the planet, are rising stars like my beloved daughter, Ashley Cagle, and are never forgotten heroes. We never left. We have your back. And we are always coming back. California State Guard, I am dedicated to our mission, purpose, and people are our purpose. So today, let us each look within, deep within ourselves, and pledge one to another to honor and serve with reverence, resiliency, and resolve, as together we reflect upon the next step. That next, our next giant leap. That we will each individually and collectively embark upon as we step in and step up in service to each other, to our nation, to our planet, to our cosmos, to humanity, and the heavens beyond. Ad Astra. To all the stars. Thank you.
I don't know what to say after that. In June 2024, General Cagle received the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award and Gold Medal. At this time, we would like to read the certificate and present the gold medal. The certificate reads, the White House, Washington. The American story depends not on any one of us, but all of us. I congratulate you taking it upon yourself to contribute to the public good, and I'm proud to present you with the President's Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of your 5,000 hours of service to this great nation. Throughout our country's history, the American story has been strengthened by those who combine an optimism about what can be with the resilience to turn that vision into reality. I know I'm not alone in recognizing that those who are willing to step up and volunteer in service of community and country are essential to the ongoing work of forming a more perfect union. By sharing your time and passion, you are helping discover and deliver solutions to the challenges we face, solutions that we need now more than ever. We are living in a moment that calls for hope and light and love. Hope for our futures, light to see our way forward, and love for one another. Through your service, you are providing all three. On behalf of the American people, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to you for your volunteer leadership, and I encourage you to continue to answer the call to serve. The country is counting on you. Lifetime Achievement Award with grateful recognition, AmeriCorps and the Office of the President of the United States honors Yvonne Darlene Cagle with the President's Lifetime Achievement Award for her lifelong commitment to building a stronger nation through volunteer service, signed President Joseph R. Biden, Jr. This means she is, if not possibly the first astronaut, then absolutely the first African-American astronaut to ever receive the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award Gold Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of the ancestors, sojourners, and leaders who have paved the way for General Cagle, and in the spirit of deference, Brigadier General Cagle would like to yield the microphone to astronaut Dr. Mae Jameson to say a few words. At this time, astronaut Dr. Mae Jameson will present the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Gold Medal to General Cagle.
Thank you so much. It is actually an honor and a privilege to be here today, to be a part of this ceremony. And it is a particular privilege, a treat, to be able to present the gold medal to, now I'm messed up, Dr. Cagle, Brigadier General Cagle, Flight Surgeon. It is an honor to be able to introduce her. And I just want to shout out, because I just see him sitting over there. Also, astronaut Leland Melvin is there for this award, and astronaut Stephanie Wilson is there, who has flown more times than any other African-American woman in space. So I just really wanted to just call them out. But here's what I want to start off in saying, is that Alice Walker said, when God made the color purple, God was just showing off. And you see, that's sometimes what happens. We have to celebrate the incredible work that's done. And this is definitely one of those color purple moments where we're celebrating just an incredible amount of work. And as I look at this, I think that this recognition is deserved clearly not just because of 5,000 hours, because if we do the math, we know that you blow through 5,000 hours pretty quickly in a year. It is about what happens over a lifetime. My relationship with Dr. Cagle, with, what do you want me to call you? With Yvonne? With General Cagle, okay. The General Cagle.
Always Yvonne.
Okay.
Right.
My acquaintance with General Cagle really started when I came back to NASA for a physical after I had left, and she was there working in the flight medicine clinic. And I thought, isn't this really cool? This is really neat to meet her. Being a physician myself and actually being a part of those kinds of worlds, it was great to see her there. But I've come to know her since. And what I want to share with you are those things. Now, I'm going to tell you that she is brilliant. I mean, serious business intelligent, resilient, indefatigable, and she explores new areas. Her research has been from COVID. When COVID was there, I get this call from, when we're in the middle of the pandemic, I get a call from General Cagle, asking me, did I want to be a part of this group, because she had put together a group that looked at algorithms to help pinpoint the severity, the progress, and therapies that might be best for COVID. And this was a wide-ranging group from the work that she was doing. Her research has included everything from microgravity drop towers, like overseeing the work. How do you examine microgravity issues by using a very deep drop tower, to multi-parameter mobile physiological monitoring for humans. So this is not something that's a small depth of work. This is a large depth of work. It also includes her work, obviously, in the U.S. Air Force as a flight surgeon. We had a short conversation, it's okay, right? But I tell her, what were you gonna wear today? What was it gonna be your uniform? She said she wanted to wear her flight suit. She wanted to wear a flight suit because that represents the work that she did in the field. And a doctor's work is really about being in the field, saving lives, making the world better, preventing serious injuries, preventing problems with health. That's what she wanted to wear. I think that that represents an incredible body of work as well. And then we've heard about her devotion to family, right? That is part of who we are. And that devotion goes beyond our blood family, our biological family, to the families that we build by community. That is part of her work. So when I want to end this, just because I said I was going to be really quick, but it's hard to be quick under these circumstances. When I look at this, today is about leadership. And our world right now requires incredible leadership that is compassionate, that is strong, that is aware, that deals in facts, that deals in possibilities and potential for the best. When we look at potential, what we have to do is develop the potential that everyone has. So, General Bender, you said that one of the things that's really important about the work the California Guard does is STEM education, science education, education for students, for people who had less opportunity or access to things. What better representative could you get for working with STEM education, for STEM engagement, than someone who has incredible communication skills, as we've seen from the beautiful comments made earlier, and someone who has lived the experience and can bring not just the experience of saying, hey, here's how I teach it, but here's what you do with the work. That is just incredible. So we keep on giving. And I want to just end with one last statement, and it's from Zora Neale Hurston. And it represents, for me, what I think we should understand about a lifetime of work and achievement, that it doesn't always come easily. Hurston, who was an African-American woman anthropologist in the 1940s. She wrote Their Eyes Were Watching God, which you may have heard about. But one of the things she said is very applicable to General Cagle. She said, I have been in sorrow's kitchen and licked out all the pots. Then I stood on the peaky mountains wrapped in a rainbow with a harp and sword in my hand. We all have trials and tribulations, but when we're resilient, brilliant, committed, dedicated, like General Cagle, we have that rainbow and we pass it to others. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mae Jemison. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the Air Force song. You will find the words to the song in your program, and we will only be singing the first verse. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the formal portion of our ceremony. We invite you to join us for a reception in the atrium where Brigadier General Cagle will greet guests in a receiving line. Please remain standing for the departure of the official party. At this time also, if we can have the people participating in the receiving line with General Cagle, please make your way to the atrium.
So many youth of all ages and all walks of life ask me the same recurring question. Was it hard? And my answer is always, of course it was hard. But just what do you think lines the bejeweled path of that rocky road to achievement? Diamonds and pearls. The hard may be in the destination, but the heart is in the journey. And if you follow and stay true to your heart, you'll find that you're anesthetized to the hard, and the only thing that you remember and carry forward is a shimmering essence of self and the possibilities born of community. For we never truly journey alone, yet we proceed in the company of ancestral aspirations, wandering wanderers of like minds, and the hopes and dreams still yearning in wombs ripe to be born. Hopes and dreams first born into life and later born up to the mountaintop. From the base of the mountain, our human minds are prone to draw lines and borders that divide us. But if we friend rather than fear each other and climb with heart and soul, we find that from the vantage of the mountaintop we actually see that there truly is space for all. And in turn, from space, we see that there are no borders, but only bridges. Yet when it comes to this quest we call dreams, a heart is never fully immunized from heartbreak. And that includes along the journey in pursuit of our dreams. Hence, this distinguished medal, awarded in recognition of one's lifetime of achievement, is as much a testament to how we are inspired to brave the headwinds and replenish as it is defined by the achievements we aspired to accomplish. So what does happen to a dream deferred? And is that voice of dreams deferred ultimately lost to vacuum? Or is it inexplicably able to mathematically defy the impossible to still find space to resonate? The answer is a resounding yes, if born from the depths of even despair, still endeavors and rises an echo. Yes, simply an echo. For intrinsic to the very nature of an echo are the properties with the resiliency to propagate beyond vacuum, into classrooms, into volumes of thought and innovation, into visions, works, and service that are the ingredients capable of transforming these legendary metals into manna to nourish the lasting legacies necessary to sustain humanity. Simply an echo. And the rest is a lifetime of achievement. This deeply venerated medal of achievement may rest on my chest, but it belongs on the shoulders of our giants, to the rooms of those deferred dreamers across the planet, and yes, into space, who dared to cross uneasy thresholds into uncharted domains to inhabit intrepid territories in order to unleash the voice of their deeds, the valor of their service, the echo of their dreams and heartbreaks, to reverberate from cosmic corridors all the way to the mountaintops back here on Earth. So I stand here today, not as an exception, and so much more than the example. We are not the exception. We are the exceptional. We are the echo of voices lifted, of dreams deferred, of figures hidden, of hearts broken and replenished. We journey and rise together as one voice to proclaim that not only is there space for all, there is a place for all. All people, all dreams, all ways, all the way, from the mountaintops ad astra to the stars. Thank you.